Grand Admiral Thrawn. Whether it was dealing with rebel scum or analyzing planets on a holomap, very few are above the tenacity and privilege of Thrawn, especially since he carved out his path through the Empire's ranks through sheer merit alone, and became one of the most invaluable assets to that of Darth Sidious. Here's why Thrawn's the perfect leader. Number 1, he doesn't sweat the losses. In Star Wars Rebels, there have been many instances where the Ghost crew would escape the clutches of the Empire, almost as if there was some divine power at work. Governor Price, the Inquisitors, and even Darth Vader at one point had failed to capture the rebels day in and day out. These types of failures would oftentimes result in a punishment of the leaders and or their subordinates, which means death was never that far from them. This would be different for Thrawn, however. When the rebels win a battle, Thrawn does not take the initiative to punish or threaten his subordinates with anything out of the sorts. Instead, he either lets the rebels get away or changes his plan of attack. So if you have Thrawn as a leader, you're pretty much far from death's grasp, unless you do something stupid. Then you die.
Scaris, break off your pursuit.
Negative, Command. I almost have her.
How unfortunate. Open fire.
Number 2, never underestimating his adversaries. Whether it's Harrison Dula or Ezra Bridger, Thrawn never underestimates his enemies, which are essential to becoming a competent leader. Thrawn, as a matter of fact, treats his enemies with much respect and courtesy, and can even be seen admiring their skills from time to time.
I wonder who else is in that stolen fighter.
They destroyed 2 of our interceptors. It must be Hera Syndulla.
Oh, I think not. If Captain Syndulla were piloting the ship, our fighters would not have survived this long. Its transponder has been disabled. In record time, it's the Mandalorian.
If anything, you would think that Thrawn would ever side himself with the rebels, considering the fact that he gives them a lot of compliments. However, that's not going to happen. Ever. Number 3, great humility and accepting responsibility. This is going to be really short, but there is one scene that I've noticed where it shows how much humility Thrawn has when it comes to his goals.
Do not require glory, only results for my Emperor.
Besides that, there's also that time where Thrawn had talked directly to Sidious for the first time they met. Yeah, the first time they met. Instead of demanding anything that a regular person would ask for, such as unlimited credits or a seat of power next to Sidious, Thrawn states that he offers his services to the Empire in exchange for Sidious's consideration of his people, the Chiss. Even when Sidious brings in a hypothetical scenario where he could eventually turn on the Chiss, Thrawn fully acknowledges this and says, "Then I will have gambled and lost." Thrawn knows that there may be a chance that Sidious may go back on his words simply because he has the power to do so, which he does, and Thrawn knows this as a truth and realizes that he cannot do anything about it. Sometimes as a leader, you have to accept the consequences or terms of your actions and decisions and navigate those factors with a calm, decisive, and objective-based mind. Speaking of which, that brings me to number 4, having an objective mindset. Being a leader is a hard role to fill because you have to make decisions that go against your emotions. What you're feeling within the moment doesn't matter. Thrawn, however, has little to no emotional outbursts and controls his emotions very well, and this is one of the things that Chiss are actually known for. The only times where I've seen Thrawn have an emotional outburst is when a subordinate of his wanted to get rid of an artifact that Thrawn had collected when he came to Ryloth.
Have the Calicori transported to my ship.
We should just destroy that piece of Twi'lek trash.
My apologies, Captain Slavin. I forgot not everyone is able to appreciate art as I do.
There was also that time where Thrawn's sparring robots got reprogrammed to kill him, and after he dealt with them, Thrawn told his subordinates in a slightly annoyed voice,
Colonel, listen to me carefully.
Regardless of how Thrawn dealt with these situations, he still kept his composure, which is honestly very impressive by any standard. And lastly, number 5, being analytical and making observations. There have been many times in Star Wars Rebels where Thrawn would examine his holomap or artifacts that he collected from his time as an Imperial officer, so much so to the point that he basically can predict when his enemies are going to make a move or where they're hiding.
You know, after analyzing the rebels' escape, it's clear to me they had help from one within our Imperial rank.
The rebels may have protected the location of their base for now, but in doing so, they have narrowed my search. Before today, they could have been hiding in any of 1,000 systems. But now I know they are almost certainly on one of the 94 planets surveyed by my infiltrators.
Now I know what you're going to say. You're going to be like, Benty,
Thrawn is a Chiss. He's born a super genius like his people, and no humans are born a super genius.
To which I say that's very true. You're right. No one's born a genius, but everyone can certainly develop the skills to become a genius within due time. And you start by noticing and doing the little things. Look at how Thrawn pays attention to the details in this scene.
Now this is the trajectory of General Dodonna's fleet, and this is the trajectory of your Fulcrum transmission. Call this Attalon, now the home of your rebel base. Admiral Constantine, deploy the fleet to these coordinates. We will join you shortly.
In order to be like Thrawn in this scenario, you gotta notice the little things and find patterns that you believe make sense. Not everything involves making correlations with everything else that you encounter, but sometimes you gotta realize that some coincidences seem to be too convenient to happen at times. And that's when you take advantage of those situations and take action. Now, the only thing that led to Thrawn's downfall is not because of his flaws, but simply because of dumb luck and space whale things. I have no idea what those things are, but you get the point. If it wasn't for the plot helping the Ghost Crew and Rebels and their allies, the Rebels would have been wiped out had Thrawn been in charge of the whole Empire and not Sidious. But alas, he was taken by those damn flying fish into God knows where in the galaxy. But thankfully, Thrawn left you with this video. As a thank you, make sure to slap that like button and subscribe to bring Thrawn back from I don't know where the hell he's at. Let me know your fave Star Wars character and who else should I do a video on. Thanks for watching, and I'm out. Peace.